crazy crab in the house. And I just want to talk about Lucasfilm some more. You know, it just trips me out, this company. I started thinking about it, and this probably is the most stubborn company as far as admitting to even the slightest, even the teeniest of tiniest, even the possibility of the teeniest of the tiniest mistake. They will never, ever admit to that.
What'd you do?
It's always someone else's fault, typically us, the fans, the horrible fans. And it's just insane. The only time I went on Google and I just searched the term, and this is the only time I remember them ever admitting to a mistake, and I searched Lucasfilm admits mistake. And pretty much the main thing that comes up is when J.J. Abrams explained that it was probably a mistake to have Rey come up and hug Leia, and then the Wookiee just kind of walks by. When the Wookiee is the one who knew Leia and was Han's best friend, and probably was forced to, who knows, but they wanted Rey to have that moment because Rey needs all the moments. Guys like Chewbacca are just kind of there for comic relief and just fan service, and they don't really have any real roles in the movie, which is total crap. So J.J. Abrams did admit to that. He said he made that mistake. I'm sure he was reprimanded by Lucasfilm for ever admitting to any kind of a mistake at all. And that's the last time that I remember that really happening. But there are examples when they could have admitted to a mistake. I'm going to talk just about 5 that come to mind for me. Number 1, the Solo movie, not postponing it. Now, we'll get to more on the Solo movie for another one, which is making it in the first place. But as far as postponing it or doing something, they were having major problems back behind the scenes. Now, they had originally announced this is coming out Memorial Day weekend. Okay, wonderful. It's coming out in May of 2018. Okay, seems kind of quick, but hey, you guys got that under control, no problem. Well, they didn't have it under control. Things were horrible behind the scenes. Lord Miller, oh, blah, blah, big problems. They can't get this, a total mess. They fire them. They bring in Ron Howard at the last minute, and the poor guy has to hurry and fix everything. Okay, fix this, fix this, fix this, get it out. You know, he's only human. And it wasn't a good idea to release it Memorial Day weekend anyway. You saw what was going on with The Last Jedi. In the aftermath of The Last Jedi, the fans are pissed off. Things are not going well with Lucasfilm right now. We're having major problems behind the scenes. We can't get this movie done. We got to bring in Ron Howard. We got to bring in the best director we can find to come in and try to salvage this, just so we can get it out and keep our word and say, see, we know what we're doing. We said Memorial Day, and boom, Memorial Day. We're the best of the best. We never make mistakes. We can't even say, yeah, actually things aren't quite going quite as planned. We're having a few problems, but it's going to be okay because we're just going to go ahead and hold off release date, and it will be a December release date. We apologize to the fans. You're going to have to wait another 6 months for this new film, but we really want to put out the best product we can, and so we're going to need these extra months in order to get the movie just how we want it and just right, and give Ron Howard some time to really flesh out this new movie. And then, of course, behind the scenes, when we go into post-production, we're going to need more time to really get it right. No, they threw the thing together and got it out as quick as they possibly could because they thought they're going to make $1 million, billion, jillion no matter what, and delaying it kind of indicates maybe we made somewhere a slight mistake. No, 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 no. Lucasfilm does not make mistakes.
Were you at any time a member of a crime organization headed by Michael Corleone?
I don't know nothing about that.
Number 2, The Last Jedi. The whole film divided the fandom. The whole film was a big, big, big mistake. Now, Rian Johnson, who is an egotistical maniac, will not admit to that at all. Okay, fine.
Oh, well, pardon me, Mr. Perfect. I guess I forgot that you never ever make a mistake.
Not only that, he still gets his trilogy? They act like the trilogy is still a go. Everything's fine. They made a mistake by announcing the trilogy. First of all, they made a mistake by hiring Rian Johnson. I say they, basically she, Kathleen Kennedy, made a mistake by hiring Rian Johnson. Then they made a mistake by allowing this movie to go through, and not just Kathleen Kennedy, all of Disney made a mistake by allowing this film to get through, and then announcing he's getting a trilogy before the film even comes out. And then in the aftermath of the film, to this day, they act like the trilogy is still on. And they won't come out and say Rian Johnson trilogy is going to be canceled, because obviously that film that he made wasn't quite what most of the fans were looking for. And those who are fans of Rian Johnson's, we apologize, but we have to do what's best for the whole, the fandom as a whole, and for our company as a whole, and for Star Wars. And so we're not going to be going forward with Rian Johnson's trilogy. It's no problem. People fire people all the time, and they find ways to announce it and giving the guy dignity or whatever. They don't have to come out and say he's a horrible human being like I would do. All they have to do is just, but they're not doing it because they're perfect. Because that would be admitting a mistake. That would be admitting a slight mistake, even though it's not a slight mistake, it's a major mistake. But they won't even admit a slight mistake. So the Rian Johnson trilogy is still on. The Last Jedi was apparently everything's fine, and it's all everyone else's fault, not Lucasfilm. Number 3, Solo struggling at the box office. What's their excuse? Do they say, yeah, we probably, back to what I said about postponing it, that's one thing they could have said. They could have said, we could have postponed it a little more. They could have said, yeah, we didn't quite market that correctly. Nope, they won't say that. But whose fault is it that Solo is struggling? Our fault. Well, it is our fault because we're not buying tickets. But they're saying it's our fault because of for horrible, freaking, and idiotic and stupid reasons. And trying to deflect everything onto us and deflect the real problems and make it, and you start calling people names, horrible names, and you start big hot topics on Twitter or whatever. You start doing that, you start letting all your people get onto us, and then maybe the typical person out there thinks, oh yeah, Star Wars fans are just awful, and that's what's happening, and they won't even support the new movie because they're so racist. Okay, I don't get it, but they're not admitting to any kind of mistake as far as Solo struggling at the box office. As far as Solo doing horrible at the box office, they're not their fault. Nothing they did wrong, nothing at all. Prior, I was talking about postponing it to make a better movie. Well, at least they can admit to postponing it, maybe because this wasn't the best time financially. Maybe this wasn't the best time to release it. No, they won't admit that. There was some competition. Sometimes I joke around like, of course there's not anything better than Star Wars or nothing more appealing than Star Wars, and there's really not. But there is a couple of movies. There's the Deadpool movie. There's Avengers. There's a couple of things out there that maybe they could have picked a better time to release the movie. As far as that goes, that's not why the movie's failing. But again, if they would have at least said that, at least I would have given them credit for at least admitting to a mistake. That they haven't done that to my knowledge. Number 4, the Han Solo movie in its entirety. Nobody wanted a Han Solo movie. And now that it's failing, could they at least come out and say, the Han Solo movie perhaps wasn't the best idea. We put a lot of hard work into it, and it's already done, so it's out there, and we can't take it back. So I hope those who enjoyed it and continue to enjoy it, I hope that you enjoyed the new version of Han Solo that we have. But in retrospect, we were told by a lot of fans that it wasn't what they wanted. We just thought the majority of fans did want it. We've been proven wrong, and we apologize. And we're going to continue to listen to you all and try to put out movies that you want to see. Wow. If they actually said that, I'd fall over in my chair. Okay, I would just not, I would say, we would be like, are we to believe what they're saying? Even if I don't believe what they're saying, at least you got to give them credit for at least saying it. For at least saying it. But they won't even do that. Most companies do at least do that. Most companies act like they give a damn about you.
These days, it's pretty hard to get things done your way. But not at Burger King.
2 Whoppers and 2 chocolate shakes.
Could we have the Whoppers with extra ketchup on them? Sure.
Have it your way, Burger King.
At least they act like it. This company doesn't even act like it. You know how companies are. We're going to do the best for you because we care about you and only you. And, we kind of think to ourselves, yeah, whatever. But at least they're acting like, at least they say it. At least they know. At least they acknowledge the customers are very important. Are we all they care about? Not usually. They care about money, but they know where that money comes from. It comes from us. Therefore, they have to kiss up to us. But Lucasfilm has a different philosophy. Their philosophy is, we got the Star Wars name. It's big since 77. Y'all are going to pay us money no matter what. Y'all are a bunch of idiots. You're all a bunch of nerds. You're morons. You're idiots. And we're the best of the best. And we are great. And we are wonderful. And you're going to give us your money no matter what, you idiots. That's Lucasfilm talking. That's Lucasfilm talking. And the last thing that they don't apologize for is the horrible attacks that we as fans get from people on Facebook, from people on Twitter, sometimes from employees of Lucasfilm and Disney themselves. And not once has Lucasfilm come out and made some kind of a statement. They don't even have to say, we're sorry you're getting called racist. You know, they don't have to be that specific. But if they come out and say, hey, you know what, we have some of the best fans in the world. Star Wars fans have always been wonderful. They've always been great. Unfortunately, as with any massive entity that includes millions of people, there's always going to be a small percentage of bad apples. But the vast majority are wonderful people, including those who were not happy with The Last Jedi. We want to come out and say that some of the opinions do not reflect our opinion on the fans as a whole. Something like that. They could word it much better because they have PR experts. But we get none of that. This company is so full of themselves. They think they're so perfect. They think that, and it all stems from their CEO. And let's add a number 6, and that is Kathleen Kennedy. They will not admit that she's getting fired even. No. It's time for her to step down because the attacks are just too much. What an absolute joke. Now, when people get fired, typically, even when Kathleen Kennedy fires her directors as she does, they say things like, we just couldn't come with an agreement. We are mutually stepping apart. And we get it. We read between the lines. They're getting fired. They don't really say they're stepping down because it was just too much. They didn't say such and such director is going to step down because it's too much pressure. They didn't say Lord and Miller are going to step aside because there was just too much pressure and the fans were being tough on them. So they say we decided to go our separate ways, aka we fired their asses. But no, Lucasfilm, she decided she's time to move on to something else. Time to use her skills to go. No, she's getting fired because she's horrible. Just say it. Disney has decided that the CEO of Lucasfilm is going to be someone else because Kathleen Kennedy, while she's done some great things and we appreciate all her hard work, is not quite the right fit for Lucasfilm at this time. Bam! Not happening. So Disney too, by the way. I'm not an expert on Disney and all they do because they do millions of things. I'm sure that they're not as bad as Lucasfilm as an individual. Lucasfilm, which falls under Disney, is what I'm talking about. And they are horrible. I mean, unbelievable. So that's what I got. I mean, this company is just, I mean, wow. They're not getting my money anymore. I didn't give them money for Solo, and I'm not giving them money again for a good while. Even if Kathleen Kennedy's gone, if they show that they're changing their ways and they're back on the right track, even if they don't put out an apology, if that's the best we're going to get action, then I'll take it. But it's just amazing. So thank you for joining me, Crazy Crab, here working on some new things. I'm glad you all enjoyed that song I put out. I'm a musician and I work on songs. Please check it out. I work on a lot of music, obviously. Enjoy doing parodies and funny songs and some originals too. Thinking of doing a whole Crazy Crab album, so stay tuned for that. Check out the links below, link to Patreon, a link to my Twitter account, and what else? Please like the video, please subscribe if you haven't already. Love everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.